then December with PoE 2 and Rivals coming out. Yeah, it's been a great year.
All right, everyone, Ninja To Viaduct here again, and today we are here to talk about 2024. Now, a lot of things has happened in 2024. A lot of things in just general news, games, movies, films, and you know what? All three of us here have an idea of what we all like, right? We're all a bit different here, but you know what? We all come here together and just kind of talk about some of all that good stuff. So, just to kick things off today, I'm gonna kick it off to Andrew. So, Andrew, 2024, a lot of things that happened, but for you, what has been the best things on top of your mind for this year?
Well, just thinking about some stuff with like announcements, particularly in gaming. Probably the most exciting thing for me were all the different headlines revolving around handheld gaming. So this is, all the rumors about the Xbox handheld, and then the final, reveal that they are looking into this. The PlayStation handheld that they're considering doing another round of it as well. We also have some teases of what the Switch 2 was going to look like. So all of these are super intriguing for me. It really is where I think gaming is going to be headed towards moving forward. And so this is where, I think I'm going to be in terms of gaming as well. I recently got a Steam Deck, and so this is how I is sort of like my optimal way to enjoying this medium. And so I'm definitely keeping a close eye on where this is going to go moving forward. And so, yeah, those are kind of just the main headlines that really caught my eye from there.
Nice. Remy, what about you? What's on your mind for 2024?
Actually, same thing with like handhelds.
Yeah,
Um, Pretty excited for the future.
yeah.
Um, I also have a Steam Deck and a Legion Go.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, yeah, like the Xbox, potentially Switch 2, right? Sony, um, I think Nvidia, and then MSI is coming out with one pretty soon.
I didn't know
Mm.
that.
Yeah, I think their first one was a big flop, but we'll see about the second one. So, yeah, for me, like, I think, I mean, maybe handhelds will kind of phase out consoles. I don't know, but
Mm.
yeah, it's like to me, like I kind of regret getting a PS5 at this point. Like I don't even use it. Yeah, like when did I get a PS? Like 2022 maybe.
Mm.
I probably played my Steam Deck more, and I only had that in for like a year.
Mm.
So yeah, really excited. Um, yeah. Other than that, 2024. I mean, gaming wise, it's been pretty quiet. So yeah, I think that's about like the biggest headlines for me.
Yeah, kind of feeling like for me a bit kind of falling behind the trend here because I personally, although it is appealing for for me to have a handheld, I personally have not. Um, Felt like I would get one. A lot of it is because I I see that not shake. A lot of it is because I still have that personal preference where I know that I'm gonna tell in my head that if I play a game that I want to play that's on handheld, I'm gonna have the feeling of wanting to play it on a bigger screen. I've always had that feeling for every handheld game I've played in the past. But it was like all the way to Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Color, Nintendo DS, PSP. Um, even back then when you had your PSV, I remember playing that a few times with you, and I've always felt that I've a great game. I enjoyed what I was playing, but I always felt like I wish I could play, or I'd rather play it on the big screen. So a lot of these handholds are, for me, um, definitely. I'm intrigued by the technology and the good things that they will bring to the whole gaming industry and just players in general, right? Being able to play, quality games, AAA games, indie games on the go, on a fairly full-size screen. But I mean, you all make a good point where it is something to look forward to, and it's like what you mentioned, Andrew, where the new console war is just maybe the handheld wars. So 2025, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Now for me, the 2024 headline, which is actually kind of think maybe it's a 2025 headline, kind of because it falls recently, like just a couple days ago. I think December 19th or 20th. Um, is the whole news about Sony having a strategic alliance with the Kalakawa group um, in Japan. So now for me, I always like learning about business, especially about what's going along with the whole entertainment gaming industry um, business out there. And the fact that when I heard about Sony and Kalakawa company maybe coming together, I thought at the top that was pretty interesting because we all know Sony. Obviously, they're very well known. I don't have to explain more about that. But in Kalakawa, for those of you listening, Kalakawa is a huge company, especially well-known company in Japan, where you may not necessarily know them by name, but you definitely seen their animes, their mangas, their game, maybe because they were publishing Elden Ring. They own the studio from software, people who made Elden Ring, and so they're a big deal in Japan. And not only that, they have a huge catalog of anime, manga, movies, films, TV, live action, animation, games, and regular novels and books, right? So the whole idea that Sony and Kalakawa Group coming together is really appealing because we know Sony has a huge global outreach, right? They're everywhere, right? You eat western side, eastern side of the world, and now you have Sony combine or have not really combine, but work together with Kalakawa Group. It's just really appealing. So how they did this was, they had some sort of agreement. They agreed that Sony would buy $50 billion worth of shares, which is about 10% of Kalakawa's shares, which essentially makes them the majority, the biggest shareholder of Kalakawa. So essentially, it's like they didn't buy the company. Sony didn't buy the company, but essentially they own so much of the company bigger than anyone else that essentially they are kind of like the guy on the table, right? And they definitely have more weight in the room now when it comes to decisions. But what's exciting for me about this is the fact that now you have Sony with Kalakawa's catalog, and now they could probably co-produce or produce some of their IP, whether that's the anime or manga or film, maybe even their games. They can distribute their anime. For those of you out there who are manga anime fans out there, you can probably get more anime manga out there for y'all. Um, maybe with Sony's backing and money, right? They can publish more games, make more games with a higher budget, you know. And I thought the biggest interesting thing about the headline I thought was they wrote that they would focus on developing talent. So I'm not sure what developing talent means, what kind of talent specifically they're looking to develop. But the fact that they add that blurb in there saying that we're here to develop, you know, human resources talent is really really interesting to me. So for now, it is kind of interesting because then you could say maybe they're like a monopoly now. You have like these two companies that kind of pretty much come together. So now this one huge monopoly, but it's kind of curious to see how that goes. I think it'll be very exciting for a lot of you out there that are whether you're into gaming, manga, anime, or film animation from Japan. You are definitely can expect. I would expect to see a lot more of that probably next year in the future, which is good for you all. I personally don't read manga anime as much these days compared to years ago, but you know, huge industry. I think for all of you, y'all gonna like what you see. So that's definitely what I'm looking forward to. And the reason why I say is maybe it's kind of like a mixed 2024 2025 thing is because it was announced finally a few days ago with it to be official and executed. sometime in January next year. So yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest headlines for me that has stood out for me.
Well, headlines aside, then, I don't know, what were some of the big gaming moments of 2024 for you guys?
Okay, since we're talking about Sony, let's not forget about Concord. I mean, we'll be talking about this in 10, 20 years. You know, the biggest flops in gaming. So, Chris, what you said about Sony, was it acquiring talent? I mean, I'm hoping their gaming division shapes up because I know Astrobot did well, but no one ain't forgetting about Concord.
It could be that's a very strong point. I agree. And actually, you know what? That could be part of it too, right? Maybe they don't. Sony is not believing so much of what they have currently, so they're trying to expand out.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I think that's pretty much a fair point. I think I know it's not only Concord. It's also Sony Pictures um, endeavors with the Spider-Man universe, right? You had like what you had Madam Web, which flopped, and then you had Morbius, which definitely was flopped, you know, and then I think the Venom movies, the Venom trilogies did decently well, I suppose, but maybe it did well in terms of audience and numbers in terms of viewership, but I think critically it wasn't really received well by critics. And then you had the recent one, Craven Hunter, right, which flopped really hard. So you know, so maybe what you're saying makes sense, right? They are trying to expand out because they can't trust. They're not trusting with what they have currently under the books,
I think
Concord and their films. So yeah.
I think Lego Horizon's not doing well either.
Oh, is it? Is it
Mm-hmm.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't great.
I mean, who still plays the Lego games? I know they were pretty big, maybe like over 5 years ago
Mm-hmm.
with like the whole Star Wars ones, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Who was it for?
I get it's. I mean, just a younger audience. I get. I got roped into their DC villains one because it was like one of the first sort of like open world Lego games, and it was fine for the most part, but it definitely just felt like I wasn't the audience for it, and there was like a little bit of too much clunk to it that it just started to deter me from wanting to continue to play. But yeah.
Yeah, for me, like I remember playing the Star Wars one, and I thought it was fun. Did I ever buy it? No, I remember playing the demo, and playing the demo of those Lego games. I thought, okay, hey, this is fun. It's unique. It's novel. It's cute. Definitely targeting to a younger audience, I suppose. But definitely, I could see some adults playing it too. Because I remember the Star Wars ones were pretty well received critically too. I think, but yeah, I do think maybe they were also kind of like it's kind of like Rock Band, you know, or like Guitar Hero, right? Remember, like they were really big. It was like that few couple years, right? They were just so huge, and they were just like pumping out Guitar Hero 1, 2, 3, Rock Band so fast, and then now you don't see it anymore, right, at all. So maybe it's kind of something like that, where it's kind of a bit of a phase. So yeah, yeah.
I will say with Lego, while I'm not like a fan of their individual IP titles, um, the the Fortnite Lego, where it's basically just like Minecraft, that one did sink its hooks into me for quite a bit, and I still would go back to it, but it's just because it's on the console that I don't play it anymore. But that felt like what Lego really should be, is just this open world and you can kind of do whatever you want with it.
Hmm.
Yeah, Lego Fortnite's pretty fun.
Lego Fortnite, something for me to check out then.
I think they have some Star Wars missions.
Mm-hmm.
that you can do.
within the Fortnite one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting one. Interesting. Yeah, for me, game wise, yeah, Andrew's not gonna be surprised by what I say. But for 2024, probably the most memorable game. Although I finished Astrobot recently, which is a great game, by the way. Very fun, very cute, and a lot of characters going all the way back from the PlayStation One, and I'm not surprised. It won, I believe it won the best game for Game Awards,
Hmm.
and I would support that. I would support that award. But for me, the best game, honestly, it's got to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for this year, just because one, I mean, we all know Final Fantasy VII, right? And I think the fact that it it just refreshes the Final Fantasy VII story in such a grand way, that it's just very memorable. I mean, I finished it back in the summer, put in like 110 hours, and pretty much almost did everything for the game. And I still think about it even now. It's definitely looking forward to part three. Maybe it's like about 3 years from now. But for me, definitely Final Fantasy Rebirth is definitely the game I enjoyed most this year, and nothing is gonna make me change that answer, Andrew. So.
So we can all have bad taste.
Oh, I see.
For me, it's a bit of a toss up because like technically the game is old, with like Elden Ring, but I really played it at the start of 2024, and that was like 100 hours that I just sunk into straight for a month and didn't play anything else, didn't want to think about anything else, and just exploring all of that and like trying to stay off the guides as much as possible. Like every so often, I'd hop on to like try to find a weapon or something, but for the most part, just trying to explore on my own and just all the little nooks and crannies and surprises and like surprise boss fights. And that game is it's the case with like most From Software games, but or From Soft games, but whenever you just like enter a space and you're just like stunned by the scenery, and the next you know, just that boss music kicks in, and there's just this moment of panic. That's it's in of like, I don't know if I can handle this boss right now, or I got to try to figure out this pattern and survive. Otherwise, I'm going to lose all my souls or runes. But yeah, I think uh, that was quite a memorable experience overall. Um, but after that, it was a bit of a slow period until I got the Steam Deck, and just this past couple of weeks with Marvel Rivals and with Helldivers. I happened to join right when everything was kind of kicking off for these games. Different events going on, new character or new enemies, things like that, and then also with like Marvel Rivals, just like that energy of a freshly released competitive game that for the most part is pretty solid. So,
Understand. No, I mean Elden Ring. I a part of me wants to play it, but part of me knows that that game is meant to be frustrating. I'm thinking like, do I really want that in my? But I admit that it is a game that looks very, very, very um, artistically very nice. And for me, that's something I'm very curious to see and play. I mean, it's not like I haven't played games like that where it is punishing. Um, but to do like 110 hours of it, I don't know if I can do that. But I do want to play it. I definitely will say, if with the whole like Sony and Kalakawa alliance thing happening, if they made that into somehow like a film or animation, I would definitely be curious to kind of see that, because I mean I from what I've looked into it, like world building wise and story wise, or whatever story you can pull out of it, um, that seems very appealing. So yeah, if maybe I'll play it, but if I don't play it, then I do hope I get to maybe somehow watch it. Something. So
Let's see. I think 2024 it kind of sucked in the beginning for me because my most anticipated was Diablo 4, which it's been like I think Diablo came out like 2010, somewhere around there.
Mm.
I was like so looking forward to it, and it just became a big letdown. And then yeah, I've been pretty quiet, just playing indie games here and there.
Mm.
But then December with PoE 2 and Rivals coming out, yeah, it's been a great year. Like,
It's been a great way to cap off the year.
yeah, I
Yeah.
just completely forgot about Diablo already. The pain. Yeah. Still hoping
Yeah,
for a 6v6 Overwatch official return.
well, it might happen with the whole amount of attention Marvel Rival has been getting, right? Because six versus six Marvel Rival, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So could
Yeah.
be, it could be.
Yeah, so it was a quiet year, and then towards the end, it's been great for me.
Mhm. Yeah, same.
Okay, well, so with 2024 just about to end, and we're heading to 2025, what are we looking forward to in 2025? Andrew, how about you? Any games, movies, films, comics, anything on your mind for 2025 that you are looking forward to?
Probably the biggest thing, and this got announced during the Game Awards, but the Elden Ring Night Rain. Just super excited to be able to hop back into that world, have it focus on multiplayer in such a way that it's not just there to combat with bosses, but like for the most part, it's consistent throughout the entirety of the game to be able to play with friends. That's what I'm really looking forward to, just because it's not just the boss fights in Elden Ring that really make it a great game. It's just exploring that world, and to be able to do that with friends, I think is going to be a great time overall.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I just mentioned that I wasn't sure about if I'll ever play Elden Ring, the base game itself. Um, but yeah, when I saw Night Rain, I definitely thought maybe that's the the way for me to get into Elden Ring. So yeah, I agree, definitely agree. Looking forward to that one too. How about you, Raymond? Anything you looking forward to for 2025?
For sure, in February it'll be Monster Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I played Monster Hunter Rise for a bit, but I think I was just not in the monster hunting mood at that time.
Yeah.
So looking forward to getting back into Monster Hunter again.
Mm.
Mm.
And then, yeah, I really want to know how MSI's new handheld is gonna turn out,
Yeah.
because I am a Intel GPU believer. I have one in my PC now, and then I'll probably upgrade to the new Battle Mage line later. So I'm just hoping, you know, they take a little piece of Nvidia's share. Yeah, hoping they'll be successful.
For
And
sure,
yeah,
for
other than
sure.
that, like Switch 2. Um, I think I would want to try GTA 6 if it happens to come out this next year, but we'll see. Oh, and the Kingdom Come Deliverance too.
Mm. Yeah. Heard about that. Heard about that.
So that'll be like big, long games. Other than that, yeah, just probably play Rivals. Hopefully, PoE 2 keeps getting updated. So
Mm.
be a good first quarter for
Sure.
2025.
For sure. For sure.
What about you,
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah. For me, I a bit more on the simple side. I'm actually looking forward to a handful of films for next year. No particular game that's on top of mind for next year that I'm itching to play or wanting to play, but movie films. I mean, you're having Marvel come back for next year with starting off with Captain America, and I'm definitely looking forward to just to see how they do with Sam Wilson. And because I definitely liked what I saw when Falcon and the Winter Soldier and that story arc. I think like that. But we have the whole news about MCU kind of losing its weight a bit, and they're trying to revamp things or try to move forward after the whole um, issue and comments about MCU in the past couple of years. So I'm just looking forward. I'm just curious to see how they're gonna move forward. All right, because it's been a while since I've watched any kind of MCU thing. Not only that, I'm actually just looking forward to seeing Tom Cruise again in the summer. Mission Impossible, supposedly the last one, and you can't deny Tom Cruise is gotta be either he is the best action star or he just makes like the best action movies these days. Just fall off on summer blockbusters. So I'm just looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to that. And I think next year is just a handful of movies to look forward to, but definitely Marvel and Mission Impossible in the summer. That's definitely on my mind, 100%, 100%.
What number is Mission Impossible now?
I think this one, this one was I think what number 7 or number 8? Forgot something like yeah. Supposedly it's the last one. Supposedly it is the last one. So, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Tom Cruise is how old, and he's still kicking. He broke his leg in the previous Mission Impossible, and he's still going. He flew a chopper, flew a jet, jumped off a cliff, base jumped off a cliff on a motorcycle. Yeah, I don't know how that guy does it, but yeah, definitely impressive.
Yeah, even in the announcement for the 2028 Olympics, like they had him do it, and I think he like jumped down the arena.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I saw that. Yeah, the guy, the guy is very impressive. I wish I could emulate him. I don't know if I would ever have the guts to jump out of the plane like that. No, but definitely, if I don't do it myself, I'll just watch him do it. So, yeah, Tom Cruise all the way, all the way.
Do you feel old that you've been alive since its inception?
That's a good point, right? Yeah. It's funny is that I actually did rewatch Mission Impossible. I think the beginning of this year, the very first one, and I was like, wow, Tom Cruise is very young. So, but yeah, 100%. I mean, it is interesting to when you say it like that. Like, yeah, been there from all the way from one up until now. So, yes.
Is
For
the
those of
elevator
you-
scene still scarring?
Yes, actually, when I rewatched Mission Impossible 1, a part of me was hoping, maybe it didn't happen, but no, it did happen. So yeah, that definitely made me a bit squeamish when I saw that again this year.
I remember absolutely nothing from that movie except that one scene.
It was memorable for sure. Maybe not the right way, but definitely memorable for sure. All right, everyone. So that ends our segment for 2024. So a lot of things has happened in 2024, and a lot of things different between us and what we found interesting. Definitely, well, I'd like to hear what you all thought what 2024 was. What are the best things for you? What are the most interesting things for you? What do you all think is going to be amazing for 2025? Because there are a lot of things happening for 2025. The more the merrier for all of us. But hey, you know what? Until next time, you all take care. Have a great one, and we'll see you the next one. Bye.
Peace.